Eugene McKenna. Hauled down. And this should surely be the equaliser. John Connors was the one who took down the number 14, Eugene McKenna. And this should seal it for Tyrone. Stephen Conway missed a relatively easy one before half-time. By his standards, this should be the equaliser. That's the case. Donegal 8 points, Tyrone 8 points. A nice little kick up, took about 5 paces forward, and with the right foot sent it sailing over harmlessly. And Kilpatrick can't hold. Some Tyrone players experiencing difficulty getting it up, but this is Charlie Mulgrew. Nice solo run inside John McGoldrick. What a wasted opportunity. Donegal on balance in the opening 45 minutes of this match certainly have had the bulk of the chances for scores, but their accuracy has let them down, and that's been an old failing, as we've seen in the Ulster Championship so far, building up a lot of chances but only taking a fraction of the really good ones that come their way. You can be sure that the subs from the Donegal team will be very pleased with the shadow that they have over there from the dugout on this warm, humid afternoon. McHugh to the unmarked Anthony Malloy. Unmarked for just a moment. Holding it up, looking inside. Kicking well and over the bar. The Donegal captain inches his side back in front, taking it from that little free from McHugh. McHugh thinking the whole time, looking for a player whom he can trust with a kick, and Malloy was that player, and they ease into a 1-point lead, Donegal. Well, that's the way to enjoy the match. And if his team wins, you can be sure he'll remember it as a day when he went to Clonus to see the Ulster final. John McGoldrick has left the ball behind him, and it's Donald Reid, not Donald Reid, but Martin Gavigan rather. Player who possesses a good shot coming from centre half back. Good run. Showing good physical presence that time. Joyce McMullen with 4 Tyrone players around him, and I think the referee is going to throw the ball up. But that was a fine burst forward that time by the number 6, Martin Gavigan. Player who used to play in midfield during Donegal's fine league run. And Kilpatrick taking it out of that group of players, carrying the fight forward to Donegal. Mickey McClure, his side behind by a point. At a critical stage now in this Ulster final. Oh, that really is quite dreadful finishing. But the referee spotted that he was fouled as he was hit that ball. And it's going to be a free in. There's the kick. And it's gone wide. Substitutions, I think, about to be made. Paul Doris over there. Noel McGinn seems to be one of the players that Tyrone are about to bring in. Remember him at centre half back in Tyrone's fine run. This is Shawnee Myler on a fine run from right half back, trying to link up with Damien O'Hagan. John Connors. He was hesitant at the beginning of this match, but he really has played his part now. Tyrone hanging on, but just by a thread, and the referee is in there again. Again the whistle sounds, and again it's a free in. Stephen Conway, who scored 2 points so far from frees, it's once again entrusted with the kick. McGinn goes back into a central position, and it's Myler who's gone. No McGinn in. The ball has been kicked over the bar meanwhile by Stephen Conway for the equaliser with 10 minutes remaining. And now maybe finally in the second half, this match will really take off. It was so evenly balanced at half-time, but it fell flat and dead. And now it's 9 points each. The heat is certainly a factor, but the heat is on now for both these teams. Tyrone, who were beaten in last year's Ulster final by Monaghan, and Donegal seeking an Ulster win. That would be their 4th. That's down towards Donald Reid, judging it to a tee to Martin Gavigan. Once again trying to push home his advantage. McGoldrick breaking it up on the half-back line. The kick forward towards Stephen Conway. Still Stephen Conway. Inside John Joe Doherty towards Kevin McCabe. Well caught, however, by Brian Toohey. Possession now and use of the ball so vital in this critical stage of the match. The Ulster final is going to be won and lost in the next 10 minutes. That's Mickey McClure with a high kick. This time there was no foul, and there were no mitigating circumstances, I think, for that one going outside. 9 points each. The last straw was 1976. Tyrone Core has put Tyrone ahead. His third point comes at an invaluable time, and it's the Tyrone fans who celebrate. He stole in well and kicked with commitment and ease and over the crossbar. 10 points to 9. Ball broken up. Martin McHugh feeding it forward to Donald Reid. Challenged over there by Patsy Curlin. Dragged forward. Here's Charlie Mulgrew trying to round Plunkett Donaghy. In towards Martin Gavigan, who's kept on advancing forward, and again another wide. And that's the 5th wide of the second half for Donegal. 6 wides by Tyrone in the second half. The high challenge for possession at midfield, and finally Tyrone Core to Stephen Conway, to a recovered Plunkett Donaghy. The challenge over there with Damien O'Hagan involved against John O'Connor. Connor's the taker quickly down towards Martin Shovlin. Shovlin, his side with 3 minutes to go and make up the difference. A 1-point difference. Brian Murray, player who's scored a point so far. Inside to Joyce McMullen. McHugh is free if he can release it to him. He holds on, however. Still holds on. Donegal's chance by McHugh has gone. It's up the post, I think. And down and wide. A chance for Joyce McMullen. Watch it again. McHugh was calling for it a good 30 seconds earlier. High and down off the back stanchion. The Anglo-Celt Cup. Is it to go to Tyrone? 1 point ahead. 2.5 minutes left. John McGoldrick challenging. Showing gritty determination, but not releasing the ball fast enough. Putting pressure back on his own defence. Well, a grandstand finish now. Anthony Malloy left-footed. They could do it another good point like the one he got in the second half, but they're kicking away their chances. And that's been the story of this match. From Tyrone with a greater economy. The self-belief, the self-confidence built going back to '86 when Plunkett Donaghy was part of a marvellous Tyrone team that might well have won the All-Ireland that year. Bidding to get back to Croke Park, where the Ulster champions, of course, will face the Connacht champions. John McGoldrick, a kick away, a desperation kick. No grand design in mind, just survival. Just over a minute to go, 1 minute and a quarter on my watch. Martin Shovlin, how he'd like to get a point like the one he got against Derry. That's dropping in. Mulgrew, it's over the bar. Somehow Skeldon got his body in the way of that shot by Charlie Mulgrew. He got the first point of the match. He's got the latest with exactly 1 minute to go. Put clean through that time as the ball broke down. And watch for brave goalkeeper by Aidan Skelton as Mulgrew is about to make himself a hero. The goalkeeper fingertipped it over. There's never been more than a point really between the teams. Is it to end in a draw? 9 previous Ulster finals ended in a draw. Is this to be the 10th? Tyrone Core pushed by Joyce McMullen. The referee signals the free. Core, who scored 3 points. So it's down to this. Plunkett Donaghy, the team captain, with his side now dependent upon Stephen Conway's kicking ability. It's outside the 45-metre line. What a dramatic way to end the 89th Ulster football final. There will hardly be time for a reply if he gets this one over. It looks on its way. It's stopped, however, by Anthony Malloy. It dropped short. He's released it outside, and the referee saw a push on Anthony Malloy just when Stephen Conway was about to be hailed a hero. 15 seconds into injury time. 10 points for Donegal, 10 points for Tyrone. An engrossing last 10 minutes. Gary Walsh's kick. Possession now vital here. We had the trainer on a couple of times. The referee may on a minute of injury time. Possession with Tyrone, with John McGoldrick trying to bustle his way through. But the referee says you can't do that, it's not within the rules. McHugh will take the free. Well, this time he's in no great hurry. Players are tired, weary, having given their all. Belting it down. Finding with difficulty Leslie McGettigan. Inside to Shovlin. Is there a point for Donegal? Nicely inside to Tommy Ryan. And it's over! Tommy Ryan has scored! His very first point of the match! And the Donegal fans are celebrating! Oh, what a famous win it will be! It's a minute in injury time! It's gone over the bar. Play continuing at the other end, I can tell you. Donegal in an attack. Damien O'Hagan. Will that be a free? Yes! John Connor says, I did nothing. The referee says you held him. And it's for Stephen Conway once again, who's missed 3. Is it going to be Stephen Conway, or will it be Damien O'Hagan who'll take it? It's going to be Conway, the free taker in chief. It's all happening in injury time, just after Tommy Ryan had given Donegal the lead, 11 to 10. We're 2 minutes into injury time. Little or no breeze about. Stephen Conway, he was 23 yesterday. Off the crossbar and over. He can celebrate his birthday tonight now. Stephen Conway has done it with his 4th pointed free. It's going to go to a replay now, surely. We're playing discretion time, and Michael Greenan signals that it's all over. The ball has been kicked out, and the sides live to fight another day following a titanic clash. Joyce McMullen, who battled hard, did well in the first half and got 2 points. Tommy Ryan thought that he might well have given Donegal the lead and the winner with a minute of injury time played, but Stephen Conway replied with a real pressure point, and it ends here at Clowness in the Ulster football final. Donegal 11 points, Tyrone 11 points.
Well, Tommy Ryan, the programme says 5'11", but you must have felt 7 foot tall when that one went over in the last couple of minutes.
I did indeed. I thought it was a winner, but then as it happened, they happened to go up the field again and they happened to stick one over on us, you know.
How well do you remember that point, Tommy, of your own?
I'll tell you, I remember it was a free from Martin McHugh, and he gave it to Leslie. He gave Leslie McGettigan on his sub, and he flicked out to Martin Shovlin. Shovlin was coming up the left wing, you know. And I just shouted for it to come across into my hands, you know, and I could feel it rolling on here on my side, you know. I just turned around and had it and hoped for the best, you know.
Well, courage to go for it and good accuracy.
Lucky, you know.
A good final, really. Neutrals will feel that it was a good game to watch, Tommy. What kind of a game to play in?
It was a tough game. Now, it probably wouldn't have been as tough, we'll say, as the media was going to make out it was going to be, you know. Like, it wasn't that tough. It was physical, yeah. It was hard, you know, but at the same time it was a clean game, you know.
I felt a lot of credit must go to the players, Tommy. Both sides let each other play.
Oh, they did, for sure, that's for sure. Like, I mean, it was a case of when the ball out to the middle of the field, whoever won it, like, everybody was given a chance to play it. Like, you know.
There is a little feeling, Tommy, that Tyrone weren't quite the Tyrone that their supporters expected, and that maybe Donegal might have let this one slip.
That's true, all right. I think now ourselves that we had a lot of ways, you know, from possible scoring chance. I got through myself there for a goal in the first half, and like ended up the keeper saved it, you know.
But this experience must surely stand to you in the replay.
Oh, it does indeed. I mean, I'll tell you, it's a case of every game. Just take it as every game.
And a couple of more points like that, I'd say you'd like us to.
I'll tell you, if I get another few points to get, I'll be all right.
Fine, well done, Tommy, well done. Thank you very much, and well played. Well, Kevin McCabe, Donegal, thought Tommy Ryan had done it, but Stephen Conway's free then saved the day for you. Did you have a good view of it?
I did indeed, and a very nervous view it was. I thought she was going to curl wide, but she tended to come in there at the very end, and I was very glad to see it going over.
Well, a top-class free taker, but he's a young and relatively inexperienced player at this high level. Was there a danger that it might have been a pressure kick for him?
Stephen's a good free taker. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be taking him. And I had confidence in him. Yet not, I wouldn't like to have been in his shoes doing it.
Indeed. Now, an overall verdict on it, Kevin. How did it seem to you?
It was another Ulster football game. I'm sure Donegal will be thinking if they'd done that and done this, they would have won it. We'll be saying the same. I think in the end, a draw was a fair result, because I don't think both teams played the way they can. I know we certainly didn't.
Yes, but yet, to neutrals, it was a very good game to watch, Kevin. I'm sure you must have felt that Ulster football, the image was enhanced today.
Very much. It was a hard, tough game, and in the first half, I think it was a very, very high standard, with everybody running everywhere, and I think it told a little bit in the second half, and the pace died a little bit towards the first 10 minutes, but then it picked up again. That heat out there today was like an oven.
Well, a huge crowd, Kevin. I think great credit must go to the players for this terrific entertainment they served up, and we wish you luck in the replay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so as Kevin said, a draw probably the fairest result in the end, and I think that both sides will be happy to have another go at it. And that's going to be next week in Clonus again. Well, now let me turn to our panellist for the night. That's Brian McAlinden, the Armagh goalkeeper. Brian, you're very welcome to the programme. It was an exciting finish, a great atmosphere, as Jim Carney was saying there, and I think a good advertisement for Ulster football, which, let's face it, has needed a little bit of a boost this summer.
That's right. There has been some unsavoury incidents during the championship, and I'd agree with Kevin McCabe and say that a draw was a fair result. Donegal started well, as they have in the early part of the championship. Tyrone a wee bit hesitant. Both teams sounded each other out, and point for point the whole way through the match. So I'd say both teams happy with the replay next Sunday.
There was actually an interesting contrast in styles in this game today, because Tyrone are the bigger team, they're probably the more physical team, play a more direct style of football, whereas Donegal, on the other hand, are lighter. They rely an awful lot on the passing game, which seems to be the way they build their particular approach.
That's true. I felt myself that Donegal overplayed the ball in defence, and it showed. Here we're looking at Harry McClure, a high ball into the full back, who was put under pressure, and Kieran Corr, unlucky not to score a goal.
Sure, yeah, that could certainly have gone into the net.
Shawnee Myler, another one, again the full back looking suspect. Lucky for Donegal,
yes,
they have cleared. They don't clear very quickly. Put themselves under pressure.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that Donegal, if you watch them in training sessions and practice sessions, they play all this stuff beautifully, but then it's very easy to do it then, and maybe it leads them into the false notion that this is the way it's going to be, you know, on the championship game.
That's right. Just looking at the clip there, I think the full back overplayed the ball again. He had a number 15 alongside him for support, probably inexperience in the Donegal camp, which probably ended up the draw was the fair result.
Well, now, as you said, it came down to those last few minutes of the game, and indeed, in those last few minutes, I thought that Donegal had thrown this one away, because they really panicked at a stage when they thought they were facing defeat, and they started kicking the ball all over the place, at times when they could have scored enough points to have easily put the game out of Tyrone's reach as it happened.
That's true. At the end, as we see again here, Charlie McGrew gets the ball. It has shooting under pressure, and a wide where it could have been a score. If it had dropped short, it would have been possibly a score for Donegal. Again here, Joyce McMullen gets the ball and kicks it under pressure where Martin McHugh was alongside him, and it could have been given to Martin.
Well, Brian, as it happened, they came out of it in the end. So did Tyrone, because it was they that forced the draw in the final analysis. Looking to the replay next Sunday, who do you fancy for that?
Well, on today's performance, I think there'll be very little in it next Sunday again. Experience alone, I think possibly Tyrone will make amends for some of the mistakes they made, and I go for Tyrone. And
one last one from you right now. Who did you pick as your man of the match out of this game?
Well, I found it very hard to nominate a man of the match. A number of players come to mind. Anthony Malloy, the Donegal captain, who played extremely hard in the middle of the field. In defence, he helped out well. Kieran Corr for some of his distribution, great scores.
Sure, yeah.
But I felt that last year's villain of the piece in the final played superbly today. Long kickouts. Aidan Scanlon, so Aidan is my man of the match.
Well, he certainly played very, very well today, and a difficult day to pick of the man of the match, but Aidan certainly did his piece.
That's it. He made a great save. Andy Kilpatrick caught